Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another amazing episode of Conversation with Freedom. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest. She's so amazing. I really love her work. Goddess Dallas. Welcome to my podcast.
Yay! Thank you so much for having me.
You're
Um,
welcome. For someone who never heard of Goddess Dallas, please tell us more about yourself and what you do.
for someone who's never heard of Goddess Dallas, I am a adult entertainer as well as a professional femdom, which
Yeah.
is female domination, and femdom who is interested in financial domination. I am based out of Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I'm independent. I feel like that's important to say these days, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm an independent entertainer. Like I said, I do adult films. I do my own creative content as well as femdom content.
Mm. Where did it all begin?
Ha. I love to tell people that like professionally it started back in 2018,
Okay.
but it really started like back in college because
Take me to
I feel like
take
that's
me take me to the college days.
yes, I feel like college is a lot of baby sex workers like first experience
Yeah.
into the industry or the lifestyle because you're in school, you have to have money for books and money to live and your parents typically aren't sending you that much money.
Yeah.
So me and a friend of mine used to be on like the classify ads online and we would like find
Yeah.
older gentlemen who wanted us to like pee on them and like tie them up. And we're like laughing and we're just like, this man's gonna give us $500 before lunchtime. Let's go do it and come back. So we did that for a little bit in college. Um, I was a part of a extracurricular organization called the Peer Educators, where I was trained in domestic violence and sexual assault prevention, and also sexually transmitted disease and infection training so that we could disseminate the information over campus and help students, live healthier sex lives. Because when you get to college, you're basically fucking everyone. And, we just wanted to make sure everybody was being safe. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I got both ends of the field. I got, like my own personal experience, but I also was able to have a mentor on campus who believed in, the stuff isn't dirty. You just have to be able to educate yourself and use your resources to do what's best for you.
Mm. Did you
And
do?
then,
Okay.
what did you say?
No, you can continue. I will ask later.
Oh, I ended up leaving school
Yeah.
and I returned home to like go to community college or whatever, which
Mm.
was a terrible idea because community colleges is for 40 plus year olds who are working and taking care of their families. It is nothing like the regular college campus. So I realized quickly like it wasn't going to be the same type of culture.
Mm.
Um, I had kind of acquired like sugar daddies and stuff like that. So I was
Hmm.
in sugar dating and I was going on dates and doing a bunch of culture stuff around my city, like going to orchestras and ballets and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was really dope. But I kind of didn't think that it was like a career then. It was
Mm.
most like, you know, how can I make the most of my time without spending the most of my time?
Mm. Yeah. So back in college, did you do girls? Or you were
Back
the
in college, like personally, did I have girlfriends?
yeah, did you do girls?
Yeah, I had girlfriends.
No, I
I
mean,
didn't have girl clients back then, but I
yeah.
definitely had like girlfriends.
Oh, okay. And then, and then 2018, you decided to.
Yeah, and then 2018, I was introduced to a business called A Taste of Passion by my same best friend who in college we used to go and have clients and stuff. And we ended up working as massage therapists for them, and helping them through lifestyle parties, and just interacting with the client base they already had,
Yeah.
but like on a really like surface level.
Okay.
Like we don't know y'all, so we don't want to give you too much you can't handle, but here's the people. If you know how to network, then it'll be great for you, which it was.
Yeah.
I ended up meeting AVN award winner Alfonso Lace, because at the time he was local, and he's like, Dallas, you're so dope. Your personality's so great. You should come, let me do your first scene for you. And I was telling him like adamantly, like, I don't do porn. I don't do that. I was like, if I ever change my mind, I'll let you know. But
Yeah.
I don't do that. So
Why,
like at that,
why did you want to do it?
why did
What,
I change my mind?
no, you told him that you don't do porn. Why did
Mhm.
you, what were your thoughts about porn during that time?
Um Back then I was still I guess trying to figure out what I was doing with my life.
Mm.
And the way porn is viewed by society, it's
Yeah.
mostly like, okay, if you're going to do this, your life's probably ruined, because it's going to be everywhere and the internet is forever.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it was kind of like, I don't know if I really want to do that or
Yeah.
not,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of how that happened. But what's actually hilarious about that is that, like, in my personal life,
Yeah.
I'm an exhibitionist. I very much like to be watched. I love feeling like the star. So um I ended up like going to a play party in my area,
Yeah.
and the people at the play party were like, "Oh my God, where can I find you? Like, how can I connect with you online?" And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have an answer to that for y'all. I don't know. And then I ended up making what's it called? A FetLife, which is like Facebook for freaks, but
Mm.
it's like way less organized.
Okay.
Um and I ended up meeting people on there that once again are like, "Oh my God, you're beautiful. You should get into this." Yada
Mm.
yada.
Yeah.
So I end up traveling to Atlanta with my friends,
Yeah.
and I shot my first scene like happenstancely. Like, we're chilling, we're watching TV, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna shoot. You don't have to get out. You can just be in it." And I was just like, "Okay."
And
And then it went from there.
yeah, how was it like? Were you nervous when
Was I what?
were you nervous on your first scene, or were you excited, or
I think because it wasn't such like a large production, it
mm,
wasn't like, we pulled out the lights and the sound boxes, and
oh,
it was
okay.
very natural, so it wasn't like intrusive.
Mm.
I kind of forgot that we were like shooting it, except for like throughout parts of it, they'd be like, "Dallas, turn your face to the camera. Look towards the camera." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, cool."
Yeah.
And then after that, when we returned home, I hit up Alfonso and I'm like, "Okay, I'm ready to do this. So what do we do?"
Then the rest is
Um,
history.
I feel like, yeah, the rest is kind of history. I spent the time between 2018 and 2020 kind of like finding my niche as far as content goes.
Yeah.
when I first made my OnlyFans in 2018, I was doing like clothing hauls where you buy a bunch of clothes and you just show people your clothes.
Yeah.
I was doing like lingerie hauls. So I was showing them the lingerie I would buy or showing them the sex toys I would buy, not necessarily using them yet. Or I would show them me doing like yoga and my yoga trapeze in my basement, stuff like that. Little sexy, playful stuff, but nothing like hardcore.
Yeah.
And then I started making my like solo masturbation content, and like people were really liking it. And I was just like, yeah.
What's your favorite sex toy?
My favorite sex toy?
Yeah.
Well, my favorite sex toy that I own is my penguin, without a doubt. My fans can tell you that because they see it all the time. If you see the little black toy with the pink bow tie,
yeah,
it's a suction toy, and I like it because it's quiet. It gets the job done quick. I'm not a rose girl at all. So yeah,
hello.
Hopefully it acts right.
I'm sorry, Dallas. I lost you for a moment. You can continue.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
So from finding out that I had a market for, like my masturbation videos and stuff like that,
yeah.
I pretty much went to like find my medium. So every content creator is not the same type of content creator. There are the people who are webcammers, so they do live streaming a lot. They love connecting to their fans via all types of live streams. There are the people who strictly make videos for OnlyFans. Yeah. And then there are the people who, collaborate or do other paid shoots with other porn stars or whatever, and then it gets produced by production companies. So in the beginning, I thought that I was a live streamer, truly.
Okay. Yeah.
It allowed me to connect with a lot of people, as far as like the beginning of Instagram censoring creators. So at first it was like I could go on Instagram Live and I could connect with people, and it was a good amount of people who weren't following me who would be able to come in. Yeah. But that number started to dwindle. So I joined platforms like Peak and My Free Cams and stuff like that, so that I could have a larger funnel of people finding out who I was.
Okay.
Yeah. But then I realized I don't like live.
Why?
My environment changed. So in the beginning, in like 2018, 2019, I lived like in a country in a big house with my mom and my sister, and it was just us. So it was, a very large neighborhood. I wasn't necessarily disturbing anybody by doing naked yoga on my deck or, things such as that. But then when we moved back to the city to help take care of my grandmother, that completely changed, Now I'm back in a house with a 90-year-old woman. I, have a loud background, and it's just a different amount of space. So it's like, where I could get up at 9 a.m. and be like, yeah, we're squirting right now. I can't do that in here. You'd be like, yeah, we're squirting in the kitchen. No, we're not. Actually not. So I had to find a way to like get my content done and not interrupt my home life.
And speaking of family, when your family find out that you do porn, how did they receive it?
Everybody's reaction was different. So I didn't start doing porn until my dad had passed away. So my dad passed away in like 2017. But I didn't start like officially doing porn until 2018. So back when my dad was alive, he knew that I was like a party promoter. He knew that I had like sugar daddies. Funny story.
Yeah.
I don't call them sugar daddies anyway, because you're not my daddy. But I call them sweet friends.
What do you call them?
Sweet friends.
Okay.
You're my friend and you're sweet on me. And I like that. But I had an arrangement with a guy, and I got this eerie ass text message, and I think that my dad was very aware of what was going on. You know, like at first he'd be like, "How you got this money?" But then he'd start calling and be like, "All right, well, give me some money, because you got money, so give me some money." But
yeah.
my dad called me one day, and he was very frantic, and he was like, "I don't know what you're doing, but pull up." And I'm like, "Okay." So I pull up to him, and he's like, "I don't know what you got going on or who you think you are, but whatever it is, it needs to stop." I had no clue what the hell that man was talking about. My ass is just like, I don't know what I did, but okay, sure, whatever will get you to stop yelling at me. I don't find out until like a month and a half later that one of my clients was a friend of his.
Oh.
And I had never actually like had sexual relations with the man, but that's not the point. The point is you're taking my daughter out places. So, I didn't find out until like a month and a half later. The guy had sent 2 months of my allowance in advance.
Oh.
And then he sent me a letter, not an email, not a text message. He sent me a letter in the mail and was like, "Listen, this has been great. I can't do this anymore. I like my life. It's been fantastic. You have a good, safe life, and don't contact me anymore." Talked to my dad about that afterwards. I just was like, "All right, make sure I vet that these niggas don't know him." Because that was weird. But whereas my mom, because I lived with her, it was kind of different. So she knew that I would be like leaving out to go make money. She didn't know exactly what I did. Back in like 2016, my sister had started a model management company. So she thought that this was like an extension of that. She's like, "Oh, I know your sister has this business, yada yada, but I don't know what y'all are doing, and you're in the streets." And I'm just like, "It's not what you think." I'm not in anybody's streets, actually. I feel like because I'm the baby, like I'm the last of 6 kids. So I feel like because I'm the baby, I kind of got like a softened blow. My sister that's closest to my age is 16 months apart from me. So she is also a femdom and a tantrika, and she clearly was like into this stuff before me. And when she was in college, she used to strip. So I feel like that kind of like took some of the pressure off me, because my parents is like, "Oh, this again," except for you're not a dancer.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, "I don't really I don't really support it. I don't really want to be around it, but I guess as long as you're happy and you're safe." And I was like, "Yeah." Yeah. I feel like as time went on, especially as soon as like the pandemic hit, it changed the perspective with how my mom kind of respected my profession. She started seeing it more as a profession because, in times of COVID, everybody was trying to figure out how to keep their family healthy, how to keep their bills paid, how to keep food in the house. And, for some sex workers who might have been less fortunate than me, like their money kind of got tight, but I excelled throughout the hasty part of the pandemic.
Wow.
So it was kind of like,
I'm sorry, COVID didn't affect you in any way.
Say that. COVID definitely affected a lot of things. It was actually kind of terrifying. Because literally me and a couple other content creators were traveling right as all the restrictions started dropping. So imagine they're like, "Yes, COVID's hitting the streets," and we're in Chicago. It is 1 degree outside, freezing. not only do our clients not want to come visit us,
Yeah.
but we just were like trying to figure out how to stay updated on like COVID results and how what we should ask people for, because then it was COVID tests weren't easily accessible either. So now that means like if you want to book with me, you have to have a 1 to 2 week window where you know you're getting all your results and your papers together so that you can keep me safe. Because not only did I say I live with a 90-year-old woman, but my mom had got diagnosed for breast cancer. So it's just so much happening, and there's just so many immune compromised people in my house that it's like, do I go home? I spend a lot of time at my friend's house. Like I would like come home from trips and just like not actually come back to my house. I would like come grab clothes and then leave right back out. It was a crazy, hectic time.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that we got that under control. But I feel like I said, that kind of changed the lens of how my mom felt, because it was like, okay, well, I don't really like that you do this, but it is bringing in some money. It is helping alleviate some of the pressures and the worry from that. So I feel like she was appreciative of that, but like not overly so. And then my siblings, I don't feel like, except for the one who's closest to my age, I don't really feel like my siblings fuck with it at all. They're like, girl, I do not want to hear about that. Please don't tell me nothing. You need to be safe, this, that, and the third. Like it really never went further from that. I don't even think that they know the full extent of my career. They just know that I'm in adult entertainment. Which is fine with me.
What's the biggest misconception about adult actress that you would like to debunk?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that it's dirty, and it's low rank, and that it's a very like, everything in life to me is risky. You know, people feel like there's job security and everyday jobs. I feel like everybody in life has a role to fulfill, and that is inclusive of the people in the adult industry. If it wasn't not only a lucrative, because I do feel like it's about money, you know, capitalism is a thing, but I also feel like there are so many great things that come out of the adult industry, the relationships, the networking, because you never know who's an adult star or what they've done in their past life before they got to porn. There are so many, you know, veterans and people who used to be dental hygienists and people who, you know, they might have kids or whatever have you. Like, you never really know anybody's story. All you know about them is that they do porn or they strip or they're bottle girls or whatever actual part of the umbrella you fall under. So I feel like a lot of people's misconception is that sex work is a cookie cutter, one size fits all industry. And it's not. There are so many things that you can do. And just because you do porn doesn't make you loose, doesn't make you unsafe, doesn't mean that you're out here getting pregnant by any and everybody, or that you're having sex to that extent, you know? Because a big misconception about me is that I just be fucking, and we're going to work on that, God, if you hear me, you know? I let your ears. But no, if I'm not working, I don't have sex nearly as much as my fans think. So I feel like those are some big misconceptions that I would love to debunk. And also, just the full stigma around STDs and STIs. I feel like there's so much hysteria around, oh, you might have a positive result, or oh, you got something that you can get rid of, or oh, you have something that you can't get rid of. I feel like the same as we handle you know, like colds and pink eye and COVID, like, they're illnesses. You have to make sure you take care of yourself regardless of what the illness is. So I feel like people should treat STDs like they're a part of life because they are. And the more educated and prepared and proactive you are with keeping yourself and your other partners informed, the safer everybody will be.
Oh. Wow.
I blush.
That's so amazing.
Sorry, my iced coffee. Gotta have it.
What when you collaborate with other male actors, what do you look for when you're looking for someone to collaborate with?
A lot of my co-stars,
Yeah.
with the exception of the people who I've worked with from professional shoots, because the productions companies choose your co-stars when you get asked to do shoots like that.
Okay.
But from the people that I've chosen, it's typically been because I've met them in an outside setting. It's not that I didn't know that they did porn, but it's that I was able to meet them and talk to them and sniff them. You sniff people. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do. I love a good smelling person. It's very enticing.
Okay, hold it right there.
And I think the last thing.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I told you was that I sniff people, because I do. I love a good smelling person, but in all seriousness, especially if it's not somebody that I've met before, I first look for professionalism. Mm-hmm. I need to see how you represent yourself on your own. Like, do you take pride in your brand? Do you take pride in yourself? Mm-hmm. Are your socials strictly for business, or are your socials for personal? Because I know sometimes people can get on my Twitter and they're like, okay, well, girl, where is the porn? And I'm like, on my platforms. Mm. If you want to see my porn, go to the platforms. On Twitter, you may or may not catch a trailer. Yeah. But mostly I'm a person and I show people that. So when I'm looking for co-stars and I look at your videos, if you have dark lighting, I'm gonna need you to get a light. If you have a grainy camera, I'm gonna need you to get a better quality camera. If the only thing your fans are seeing is you with the phone above the ass and it's just the back shots, I'm gonna need you to get a camera person. Like I need you to take your craft seriously, because I don't want people to think that just because we have fans that they are silent. I have very opinionated fans, okay? They will tell me, they'll be like, we don't want to see you fuck him no more. Oh. He didn't do the job. He's not doing it right. And you can kind of weed out who's actually like, you watched it and you're saying it from an artistic perspective, or you're literally just watching it and you're like, I wish that was me, get rid of him type deal. But yeah, I don't feel like I'm a stickler. I feel like some creators rest heavily on how big a person's fan base is. But truthfully, I feel like if the art you make is solid and I like it, then it really doesn't matter who's your fan. I know my fans are going to go and find me regardless. So, you know, it's not so much like how many fans do you have, but I feel like a general, you can't come to me and be like, yeah, I have 300 fans across all my platforms and no one knows who I am. No. Or a personal favorite of mine, because people love filling my email with, Goddess Dallas, how can I get into the industry? Yes. Can you be my first scene? And I'm like, no. Do you even know if you're okay with fucking on camera? Are you gonna stay hard? Do you know what you're doing? Oh. Yeah, it gets crazy. Or the people who are like, yeah, I'm positive that we can make great content, and then afterwards decide that they want to be in love.
So people do get attached.
Yeah, some people do. Some people who forget that it's work. But that goes back to remembering that porn stars are regular people. Some of them are married. Some of them have kids. Like, you know, people have lives outside of work. So it goes back to remembering, like, at the end of the day, this is a job. Your doctor gives you a mammogram or you know, a checkup, and you're not like, "Ooh, doc, what you doing at 4 o'clock?" Like, you don't do that to me.
Yes. That's so true. What are some of your best scenes?
Some of my best scenes.
Yeah.
I feel like this one's fresh on my mind because last month one of my hard drives just up and died. It was very sad. But the scene that I have with Honey Dip C and Peach Fuzz, actually, the scene that we did was so great. It was really good energy.
Yeah.
It was really good energy. It was really, you know, pleasurable. It was fun. It was one of my first like dining room scenes. Like, yeah, like strapping her on the table was really cool. But I lost the finished video because of my hard drive. So I think that happened so that I could go back and re-edit it and, you know, like feel the feels all again. Cause I had a fan that was like, "Hey, I keep seeing the promotion for this scene, but I can't find it. I buy other scenes on Minivids and it's not there." And then I realized, like, oh shit, it's not there. Okay. So when I went back to watch the raw footage, I'm like, wow, this scene was so cool. So that's definitely one of them. One of my most recognized is this head scene that I have with Maze the goat.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a viral clip of him like standing up and fucking my face, and you can't see anything, and people are like, "Oh my god, where is it going? Down my throat?" Duh. But you know, that's a very, very popular video, and it's one of my favorites because like I said, with porn, a lot of people think that you have to have penetrative sex. And while he's penetrating my mouth, we didn't do anything else. And I think that is very cool because that scene is like 35 minutes. So yeah, it's like 35 minutes of straight throat. Like you got to be willing to try things out and really have an eye for stories. Bless you. And one of the scenes that I just released with Magic Montana, this Uber fantasy.
Yeah.
That was so cool. Basically, we like pretend that like he's in an Uber, and then they pick me up from work, and we're like staring at each other, and we're both like in our heads, and we're like, "Oh, he's fine. Oh, she's fine." I wonder if she knows that I have fucked the shit out of her. But like the actual scene is like a fever dream, and it's so hot. Like it's a really, really dope scene. Magic Montana is a phenomenal actor, so that's one of my faves too.
What's
your favorite scene from me?
I love the one that you did with Peach Fuzz.
Cool.
You fucked the hard. I was like,
yeah, with one of my favorite dildos. You can definitely like hear from my fans. I tell them that I prefer if you buy me gifts or if you buy me something off my wish list, don't buy me no white dicks. Okay? Don't buy me no pink dicks.
Yeah.
Don't buy me no tan dicks.
Yeah.
Black dicks only, unless it's some other random color like purple or red or blue. Don't buy me no pink dicks. But yeah, Peach Fuzz loves that dildo. She called me after our scene and was like, "Hey, could you send me the brand? Cause I'm buying it." And I was like, "Ooh,
what's the wildest thing that you've done in front of camera? A wild thing that you've done.
A wild thing that I've done in front of camera. Damn. And this is why like keeping your old cell phones or like knowing where your content at is crazy. Because
Yeah.
like I told you before, I was like so hell bent against porn, but I had partners or like boyfriends that would literally record us fucking.
Yeah.
I ain't never asked where the videos was at.
Oh.
Never got sent to me. But I had this video of me and one of my partners at the time fucking in one of the parks in the city. It's like this secluded tennis park, but it's not any park. You know, in DC, a lot of our parks are government owned parks.
Oh.
We fucking on top of this man's car at like 10 o'clock at night, and park police rolls through with their bright ass light on.
Wow.
Man's still recording.
Ah.
And they're on the loudspeaker like, listen, y'all got 5 minutes to vacate. Even less than that, y'all got like 2 minutes to vacate, or you're going to jail and on the sex offender list. And I was like, okay, but why are you still fucking me? Like, nigga, do you want to are you okay? Like, do you want to go to jail? And he's like, I mean, well, we had the light from the spotlight, so I was trying.
He was enjoying the light.
Meanwhile, I'm over here scared to death.
You don't want to go to jail.
Here we go.
So you ended up vacating the park and
absolutely, like literally, after he was like, the spotlight, I was just trying to get it under the spotlight. I like smacked his phone out his hand, like into the car. And I immediately, like, I didn't bother pulling my pants up or nothing. I just like slid back into the car and was like, all right, let's go. I can pull my pants up later. Doesn't matter.
And that's a fun story.
Or I do like toilet content, so I do a lot of like public peeing and like golden showers and stuff.
Yeah.
So another like crazy thing was like we were having a party.
Okay.
And this guy was in the golden showers, and it was like 6 of us. And we all took turns peeing on him. Oh. Now I knew that my camera was like on the floor so you could see his head. But my friend had her phone recording on top of the counter. Oh. And it wasn't until afterwards that I saw the video, and I'm like, no, we have all the angles. Like, this looks crazy. It looks so chaotic. We didn't end up like using the video because before now I have a form that I have people sign in case you don't necessarily want to like register as a content creator, but that you're going to be in multiple of my videos so that I can submit them to the sites. But then we didn't have permission to use that, and there were too many people in the video for you to not account for who each person is. So that's definitely something that you run into. Like, it might be fun to record it, but you might not be able to use it if you don't make sure you have all your paperwork in order. Oh. But it was dope though.
Yeah.
It was like waterboarding him because he had a t-shirt over his face. Extreme peeing. Your smile is so nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's your favorite position?
Scissors. Scissoring. Scissoring is my favorite position. And that
Why?
is not gender specific.
Why?
Because it hits all the spots with minimal effort. You
Oh!
know? Like, I don't know if you've ever scissored with a woman, but literally, like, both of you guys turn towards each other and like open your legs and you fit your body like a puzzle piece.
Yeah,
And you don't
yeah.
gotta do too much work. Everybody just work their little circles and everyone gets where they need to go. It's such a and it's such like a intimate position though, because it's like you're like hugging the person. You can hug the person's legs or they can hug your legs. So it's like making yourself a little yin yang symbol.
Mm. And then,
But I feel like everybody likes a good doggy though.
yeah.
Everyone loves a good doggy. I feel like that's a cookie cutter answer.
Yeah. Who would you like to work with next?
I want to work with more women. I want to work with more women.
You
I
more.
love
Yeah, yeah.
Hazel Grace. I think she's so beautiful.
Mm.
I don't know if you've heard of Majesty Nasty, but I'd love to look her up. Her content is bananas. I'll send you her profile a little bit later, but she does a lot of female pegging videos.
Mm.
Now, I don't know if I want to do like a solo video with her or like I want to do like an all girl gangbang. I think that'll be dope. Very creative. As far as the men's go, I would love to work with Ricky. I think his last name is Johnson. Ricky from Ricky's Room.
Okay. Why?
I love his work. I want to work with Scotty P and I like low key want to say Brickzilla, but I'm scared because his dick kind of huge.
So you can't handle your deeds. You can't handle.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We're not gonna say that I can't, but I don't know. We will see. I'd also like to work with I'd love to work with Oliver Flanagan. He was really good energy. We worked very well together. So I wouldn't mind doing that again.
Mm. Do you enjoy working with, have you ever had the opportunity to work with younger guys?
I think the closest I could say that I worked with a younger guy is maybe like Jordy. And Jordy's like maybe a year younger than me, if that, maybe like a few months or so. But yeah, that's about as young as it goes. As far as like clients or people, I tell everybody I prefer not to accept clients under the age of 25 because that just doesn't work for me. Like if you're younger than 4 years younger, I don't need to deal with you. And it's no shade to the younger guys. It's just it's not necessary for me. I feel like there's something to be said about the way that we approach conversations about age gaps. You know, once you're grown, it's kind of pretty much a free-for-all. Like you can do what you want to do, but I feel like if we're going to condemn people for dealing with younger people when they're underage, I feel like there's a certain amount of age gap with people's mindset when it comes to porn with working with younger guys that I don't know. It would just have to take a very focused, business-minded individual.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these young dudes is really just like, I get to fuck. I get to fuck on camera. Like some of these dudes, they don't. it doesn't come across in their head like, yes, this is work. And
Mm.
even more so, people talk. Your reputation is everything. Just
Oh.
because you don't know if your name is being said in a room doesn't mean it's not.
Oh. Power.
Very much so. So
Yeah. You've been in the industry for quite some times now. What are some of the challenges that you've come across?
um for me, I would say moving from a survival mindset to a thriving mindset. Sex work, although I've never felt like I had to work in extreme conditions,
Mm.
has been kind of a survival trait for me. And it's kind of not that anymore. But now it's like, where can I take my art? Like, where can I go with my creativity
Mm.
while still remembering to be gentle with myself? Because a lot of my coworkers are experiencing burnout.
Yeah.
And it's very much like it's hard to get online and feel genuine, joy and excitement when your fans have a problem with instant gratification. They feel like they need to be
Mm.
getting scenes every single day. And it's
Oh.
like, you have 400 videos. Please, there's not that much dick whacking in the world. Just slow down, please. So I feel like for me, it's been, just keeping my creative mind open to new
Mm.
ideas
Mm.
while still having a respective consideration for my schedule, especially when I don't really shoot a lot of content in DC. And I do want to change that. I do want to work with more local creators, because a
Mm.
lot of times, in order for me to get work done, I gotta travel. I have to leave.
Mm.
And traveling is getting very, very expensive.
Yeah.
um these flights look like rent, and
Yeah.
rent still due. um so it's really just, being able to make the business work and being able to make your business budget work as an
Mm.
independent creator and still being able to take care of yourself.
Mm. Um, there are a lot of people. This is outside what you do, but I think
Mhm.
I should ask you this. There are a lot of people who are going through a lot. Some are going through anxiety, some are going through depression. What kind of message would you give to someone who's struggling?
Oh, that's perfect, because I am wearing one of my favorite shirts. And the shirt says,
It's
"It's
okay
okay."
to not be okay. Just don't give up. Wow.
Over the past 2 years, I've been experiencing a lot of discomfort and a lot of interpersonal family drama.
Mm.
And it's been very, 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 very heavy. I like to think of myself as a very strong person, but I think that my advice for other people is my same advice for myself. Be
Mm.
patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself. And the same way you would expect the world to not know what's going on, you don't have to tell people everything,
Mm.
but do let people know you're dealing with stuff
Mm.
and that you may need a moment. You may need some time. You may need to get back to self. Find something that has nothing to do with earning money, nothing to do with work, nothing to
Mm.
do with responsibility. Find something that genuinely calms you and makes you happy, and take time to do that. Because I think that a lot of people forget that, like, no matter what part of the human experience you're on, we're all human and we're all experiencing it.
Oh,
So
wow.
you really have to be able to separate what it is that you're going through
Mm.
and find a way to get through it without losing yourself. Because I have a mental meltdown every 5 minutes, to be honest.
Yeah. Good. I had to. That's so profound.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for sharing that. You know, a lot of people are struggling, and every now and then I ask my guests on the podcast to share some advices, to give some light on that, because you never know who's going to watch this video. Some may found this video very so man, that's so amazing.
Yeah, man. I consider myself to be a very emotional person.
Yeah, I can.
So I do my best to control the waterworks, but you know, life is just hard, man. Life is hard and it's weird.
True.
None of us know what the fuck is going on. We're all just trying our best to roll with the punches. So, you know, be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. It takes nothing.
If you're not working, what are some of your hobbies? What do you do?
I love playing Sims.
Okay.
I am a Sims head. Like, and it's probably because I don't have a gaming system.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna buy me one. I feel it. It's because I don't have a gaming system anymore. But I really got into Sims. It's very therapeutic for me to play God in a safe way. But it's easy for you to like step out of whatever is actually happening, and you're like, well, I could ruin these people's lives and fix their life in the morning. It's sunny outside, but it's raining over here. Also, I think I mostly love Sims because I like building houses, like being able to put together different looks, and it's kind of like interior designing for me. You know, I also love to read.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite books?
I love like a mixture between murder mysteries
Okay.
and urban fiction.
Oh.
I love a good drug dealer love story. Doesn't matter how many we read, I will read them if they're great.
Yeah.
I just finished reading a book called You Have to Believe Me. I forget what pen name the author used for that specific book, but a lot of her books go under Minka Kent. She writes phenomenal mystery books. I used to like not be down with my Kindle, and now I think it's like the most fantastic thing ever. Because I was like, what about regular books? Nobody wants to flip a page anymore. And now I get it because I'm like, yeah, I'd rather be able to access like 6 books at a time.
Yeah, on your phone, like at the palm of your hand.
I feel like I'll be getting back into yoga. Like I said, I was very into I like to exercise, but I don't like to sweat. So for the longest time, I'm serious. I like to exercise. I don't like to sweat. So for the longest time, the only thing I did to exercise was swim. But swimming is a great total body exercise. So, you know, that worked for me for a long time in between college and kind of taking the adult industry as full-time. I was lifeguarding because I love water. Lifeguarding is one of the most boring but rewarding jobs. Because it's really not that exciting unless you're a lifeguard at a beach, but I would never do that. So, like, I like saving people, but not that much. I cannot decide to do that.
Yeah.
But you know, I enjoy swimming, I enjoy yoga, I enjoy things that engage your body, but don't overwork your body. That
Mm.
makes sense.
It does. Where would you like to see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years or 10 years?
In the next 5 years,
Yeah.
I would love to see me win some awards.
Mm.
I would love to be 5 years. I would love to be working on the lingerie line
Mm.
that I'll be starting for plus size women.
Yeah.
And in 10 years, I'd love to be on the brink of opening my burlesque club / cigar lounge.
Mm.
I know that I don't know if people remember the game. What was it? The tycoon set, like roller coaster tycoon, amusement park tycoon, where you would like build the businesses and sell the lemonade and you got to make the money.
Yeah.
I'd like to think of myself as that. You know, I use my art and I use my content
Mm.
as seed money
Mm.
to not only take care of my family, but to pursue the other things in life that I feel like I'm capable of excelling at. And I love lingerie, but
Mm.
I cannot stand the market for plus size lingerie. It's like sometimes we get cute stuff, but most of the time it's like an afterthought, or it's like a
Mm.
leotard,
Yeah.
or it looks like it's for your grandma.
Oh.
Um, and I just feel like plus size women deserve to have quality lingerie that's not going to cost them 8 arms and 6 legs, and it's still going to make them
Mm.
feel sexy as if they wore a size 8 or if they
Mm.
wore a size 10. Just because you're over a certain size doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to wear the styles that you want.
Mm.
So that's definitely something that I'm working on, I'm recentering myself in, and I'm excited about.
Mm.
But I definitely want to win some awards because I was nominated for AVN Best BBW Star and I did not win.
Yeah. You will get it
But I
next
was
time.
so grateful to be nominated. My fans definitely showed out with that. And I feel like if you can get nominated once, you surely can get nominated again.
Yes, true. And you will definitely you are definitely going to win some awards. Do you enjoy daily talks?
Do I enjoy what?
Daily talks?
Daily talks?
Daily talks?
Dirty talk?
Yes.
Like just in the bedroom?
Is daily talks your thing? Your thing?
I'm very much like a silly lover. I crack jokes for the longest time. Before I did porn, I used to be pretty quiet in the bedroom.
Wow.
Yeah, so much so that my partners were like, "Hey, you okay?" Like, and it's something that I've always been like, I don't know what that's about, because it's not that I'm not enjoying myself. I just don't, I don't make a lot of noise. I
Yeah.
think that I tap into my dirty talk when I'm like really in my mode as far as doming goes, like if I'm in control. But otherwise my mind kind of just blanks because I overthink it and I don't know what to say. Truly.
Man, this has been so amazing.
I agree.
Is there something that you would like to share that I didn't ask?
Um, Not off the top of my head. Um, do you like travel to America?
I've never traveled outside South Africa, so one of my dreams is to travel. I really would like to come to the States. You guys are so amazing. I would like to, yeah, that's one of my dreams. I've never
I
been
think,
outside South Africa.
yeah, me neither, actually. I've never been outside the US. I've traveled a lot in the US, but I've never been outside the US. And I think it would be really dope if you were able to like travel here and maybe come to one of the, excuse me, one of the sex expos so that you could meet, all your favorite porn stars and
Yeah.
do short interviews, and that would be really dope. So, I hope that comes true one of these days. I know I would love to travel to South Africa.
Oh.
I intend to apply for my passport very soon, but I know that that's something that I want to do. I really would love to travel to Africa. I think that the myths on both sides of the pond about what each piece of land actually looks like and functions like is so space that I think it'd be very great to just travel and experience what it's like there. So
you've been so amazing, and
thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. I really, really would like us to continue this conversation. I would like to host you again so we can continue. This has been so
Thank you so
touching.
much for having me, and I would happily come back and do the show again.
Yeah, this is the question which I ask all my guests. When it is all said and done, how would you like to be remembered?
I would love to be remembered as a person who cared about making a lasting difference. I want people to know my name for a bunch of different things, not just one thing, and know that it's okay to change your mind. And it's okay to make it so that people have to see you, because representation matters. And to not shrink yourself. I think that every person in the world should know, if they don't know anything else associated with me, is that everyone should feel like they're a fucking star, because you are. That's literally where my name came from. A lot of people are like, oh, you're not from Dallas. No, I've never been there. My name is Dallas because I'm a fucking star. And that's it.
And I forgot to ask you that earlier. I wanted to ask when did the name come about? So thank you for sharing. What's your social handles? Where can people get hold of you?
You can find me in most places under my name, but the first place you can find me is at DallasplayHouse.com.
Yeah.
There you can find all your information on my clip stores, on my socials, on where you might see me next in person, on how you can book me as a client. You can even find some, side facts in case you want to know anything about me. Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Dallas Playhouse. If you go to my Dallas Playhouse page, I have my Findom page under there as visible one, but it actually has numbers in it, so I'm not going to spell that out for y'all. You can also find me on Instagram under not Dallas Playhouse, because Instagram loves to delete me. So we're incognito for now. But those are some of the places that you can find me. I'm not hard to find, baby.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.